This is Acid Root. So I'm going to talk to you guys about some makeshift songs and basically a top 5 list of songs that I feel like are great for just got off work and kind of more of traffic jam type haze that goes on. Basically the malaise of like 4:30 p.m., 5:15 p.m. being in the car and on the way home, just wanting to get home, that kind of uncomfortability and fatigue that kind of goes along with that. But just when you hear like these makeshift songs on the radio, the earworms, the constant staples that keep happening over and over, just, the more you work through the seasons, you tend to get used to these songs and you start to really get to know them in quite a bit. And there's just songs that are just heard every single day and had like a fashion of being heard for quite some time before they got phased out by the next earworm song. That is kind of the situation. So I'm going to go ahead and list 5 songs that I feel like not necessarily are bad songs to the point where they're annoying and you just don't want to hear them again, but some of the ones that actually have a little bit more juice to it. Besides, if you're trying to listen to like hardcore rock, hardcore rap, just some club songs, some weekend songs, if you're actually trying to listen to some decent blue collar stuff that you might even be able to hear at a job, here's a few that are not quite as grating and are kind of palatable in a lot of ways. So the first one is Daylight by Maroon 5. Now this is definitely one. I feel like this was a single and this charted in early 2013 off of Maroon 5's Overexposed album. And the thing about it is it kind of like it has like the malaise of just like the after effects of just hooking up with some one night stand, that type stuff, and the process of breaking away from that and kind of getting back to everyday life. And it just has the hazy kind of malaise feel of this production in this song. Just really kind of showcases. I can just hear this song being played at 4:30, 5:15 p.m. as you get off work. Just the process of going through the process of what like these guys are describing. Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name from the band, but the process that these guys are describing in this song is just an easy kind of hazy, just got off work in a traffic jam kind of song. Bad at Love by Halsey is number 2. This is definitely one that's like an earworm. This is easily kind of a makeshift song. They used to really play this song out back in the day. 2017, 2018 is one of Halsey's probably most signature songs. It's one of the ones she's best known for. It's an easy kind of work staple. It's not real NSFW, that type stuff. It just has a lot of good vibes towards it. And it's pretty easy going. I mean, it's kind of like a kind of halfway kind of romantic, but kind of spicy kind of song in a sense. But at least it's SFW to the point where you can handle it. But it's just one. I do feel like Halsey basically nailed this. I mean, this is kind of a song that I probably wouldn't recommend in like a weekend setting. It's really not that addictive. It's pretty much strictly for like the workplace and the kind of car getting to workplace for the most part. It's just really not as crunchy as some of Halsey's other songs, but it works in like a work setting. Number 3 is a song by T.I. called Live Your Life from his Paper Trail album. So this is one that was surprising just because T.I. was typically in the 2000s doing like drug dealer rap and swag rap and that type stuff, but his impending prison sentence kind of helped him crest out a few different types of songs. I mean, he did 2 songs in this vein off Paper Trail. One was Live Your Life and the other one was Whatever You Like. I feel like Whatever You Like was kind of more of like a hop and bop kind of romantic kind of relationship song, but Live Your Life really feels like this is an easy kind of makeshift, this kind of wave your hands in the sky, kind of just chummy kind of makeshift song. And it's surprising just because it's a makeshift rap song, which rap for the most part back in the 2000s wasn't always kind of making songs for blue collar. This is one that you can hear at work, in the car on the way home. It's just such an easy kind of where it's T.I. and he, that he has more lit songs than that, but it's approachable just in the sense that this is about as blue collar as T.I. is going to get. But it works just because it's a serviceable kind of makeshift kind of song. Number 4 is Good as Hell by Lizzo. This is definitely one that this is an R&B song, and it just has that kind of, you can tell by the kind of like the gospel-like production that it just feels like kind of just got done with some task or appointment type thing that you would have to deal with. And I feel like Lizzo's just kind of easygoing singing on the song is just like, to me, the stuff that she's talking about, like leaving a man that doesn't seem to want her anymore, or not her, but her friend anymore, and kind of stepping out for the night and getting ready to go out, like talking about buying her a bottle and we're going to have a good time in the future. It is kind of like, I think I definitely like the energy of the song and just the easygoing songwriting that Lizzo had for us. Just in a simple kind of, hey, I'm at work right now. I'm kind of going through some stuff. I'm on the way to getting done with work, but once I do, I'm gonna have a good ass time. Lizzo, it's just Lizzo's easygoing mood as far as saying she's feeling good as hell. It's just one of those songs that you would just hear in the car like several times a week in the process of either getting to work or coming home from it. I just think it works real well. And the number five is Apologize by One Republic. Now, this was off of their debut album. This was a MySpace staple back in the day, and I definitely feel like this is probably one of the older songs on here. But I kind of feel like this was just an inescapable song. This just has such an approachable hook. It's an easy kind of sing alongable hook that just felt like so many people sang along to this song back when it was hugely popular. It was just so inescapable that eventually it went from kind of like a breezy kind of maybe slightly weekend number to just one of the most signature week makeshift songs of the 2000s decade. I just really feel like it was just presentable, symbolic of like the 2000s, especially like the late 2000s. Easy kind of, just kind of slightly bitter, but just kind of in like a sense of just like, hey, I'm moving on. Linkin Park was pretty good about making those kinds of songs like In the End and stuff. I feel like One Republic just really did it well. Just the kind of, the hook is really inescapable and it just has like an earworm kind of quality towards it. So an honorable mention that I would also have to mention on here is My Job by Cameron. Now, this was really not a popular song. It didn't chart extremely high on any of the Billboard charts like the other songs I mentioned, but it did. It was definitely another rap song, definitely another makeshift rap song that deserves a notation and some indication here, just because Cameron doesn't really chart that often past like certain point, past like his early 2000s days. And I felt like this was just a good, clever rendition because no one was doing this. 50 Cent never did a song like this. T.I. for them, besides like recently, didn't. And like other folks like Nelly and Eminem weren't really doing songs like this. So it's just kind of, Cameron really stole the show with being able to do this and just have such a breezy kind of halfway sarcastic vibe about having a makeshift and blue collar kind of job. Is to be respected. I mean, there's still not too many songs like this today. It's the piano beat and the kind of lackadaisical, sounds like you're just getting ready to go to work or come home from work type vibe. This really works well. But yeah, so all five or six of these songs worked for just like a fender bender kind of traffic jam session where you're like, damn, I just want to get home and unwind, take off my shoes, put on my slippers, watch football, that type of stuff, have a beer, flirt with my wife, that type of stuff. It's just kind of the context as far as that actively kind of goes. But I just look after it. Like some of these songs can be played in terms of like the context of getting ready to go to work. I know I said in the title that it's about getting off work, but some of these can be kind of played on the way to work because that's kind of the same trip almost. It's kind of, I mean, either way you slice it, it's getting to work at 7, 8, 9 in the morning or getting home from work at 4, 5, 6 in the evening. It's kind of the same concept. It's practically almost the same feeling. So it's just kind of, yeah, these are just songs for that sort of occasion.